man, I don't know if I've told you or some other group that I've worked with now recently, having these experiences. It's just in my time with Jesus that I think he's trying to help me understand what he actually did in the Garden of Gethsemane. What he went through, what he had to endure to say yes to our Father's will, to be the sacrificial lamb, to be the one that we're going to be sacrificed, to be killed, to be murdered. He went through horrific things. But the horrific things were accepted because of what he did in the Garden of Gethsemane, where he had to struggle and sweat blood and pleaded with our Father to take this cup away if it is at all possible, in any means whatsoever, if this cup can pass him. And I don't know, Sabina, have I told us about the whole thing of the cup? Because it's valuable to understand.
Tell us.
Have I told you what was in Jesus's mind when he prayed about the cup?
No.
Okay, this is the picture, the reality of what went on in the time of Jesus historically. When the Roman Empire and the Roman army conquered a nation, a people, they would, after that battle, take over completely. And what they would do is that the people that didn't die in the war, they would place them in order of hierarchy. They would place them, and usually the king and some of his closest people that lived with him, they usually survived the war because they didn't engage with the battle per se. So what the Romans would do is capture all these people that didn't die in the war, and they would place them in order of hierarchy. The king first, front row left, and then the second person in the hierarchy that survived, and the third person in the hierarchy that survived, and then they would make a new row, and all these people would be placed in rows from hierarchy, the king that survived, till the lowest of the low people that survived of that nation or people. And what they would do is to march them through a Roman city, and they would spit on them, hit them, they would really, do horrific stuff to them. But at one point in time, the Caesar, that was the king of the Roman Empire, he would approach, the procession would stop, and he would approach the highest rank, which would be the king, and he would hand him a cup. Listen to this, a cup with very poisonous poison. And that king was now meant to take a sip and pass it on to the next person. That king wouldn't even walk 5 to 10 steps before he falls down dead because of the strength of that poison. And then the next guy that took a sip, he would also proceed not much more than 10 steps and die. And the next person, and they would pass the cup, until the cup was empty and the last drop was drank. And then those people would die, and the rest of the people would then be set free. If there was a great king, he would take the cup, he would take the whole cup, and he would drink it all, and he alone would die, so that the rest will be set free. And that was what Jesus was praying about in the Garden of Gethsemane, that he knew he had to take that cup, and he knew he was the good, great, awesome, loving, kind king that he was, and he knew he would have to drink it all, so that whoever came after him would be set free. That was what he was praying about in the Garden of Gethsemane, praying the Father to pass this cup, that someone else drink it. And eventually he took it. And that was what was in his mind when he took the cup and drank it on our behalf. And that is why you and I are not guilty anymore, because we are set free. The cup has been drunk. He took the poison, he took the death. The rest of us are set free. We do not have to live in condemnation or in guilt. You do not have to live in guilt because of what Jesus Christ did for you and I.